Welcome back to Cottage Designs by Erin, where today I'm still snowed in. I've had an extra week off from work because of the snow and ice storms that we've had in southern Illinois. And I read earlier that the state of Illinois has declared a state of emergency due to the weather. So several days ago, at the beginning of the week, we had 5 inches of snow, and then the heat wave was 34 degrees. It started to melt a little bit, and then now we've been blasted with another probably 3 inches, and it's still snowing. So I thought it would be fitting to make a cute little snowman quilt. You can buy this pattern at www.shabbyfabrics.com, or you can buy the kit that I'm using on eBay. I'm going to move the camera to my hands now. Okay, so the kit will come with labeled pieces. This was the background. I cut it and sewed it together already. If you notice, they're very good about labeling their pieces. Here's the backing. This is for the snowman parts and pieces, snowman vest, and then here's the binding. So a lot of times when I buy their kits, they are already laser fused and you just have to iron them down. But that was not the case with this particular kit. You have to cut it all out yourself. So after you sew the background pieces, from the pinwheel fabrics, cut 6 lighter squares, each measuring 3 by 3 inches, and 6 darker squares measuring 3 by 3 inches. Okay, I have done that. You are then going to draw a diagonal line down the center of the squares. You're not sewing on the diagonal line, you're sewing 1/4 of an inch away from that center line. So to do this, I drew a line from corner to corner, and then that was my 1/4 inch seam allowance on the other side. So what we're working on right now is we are actually sewing the pinwheels. So I'm going to bring my sewing machine up, and we will continue to work on this. These are not fast kits, so don't expect this to be a quick video because that's not the way these work. Okay, so let me get off my cord, that would be helpful. So again, we're sewing 1/4 of an inch, which is out here, from the center line. And we have a whole pile of these to do so that we have enough pinwheels for the bottom of the quilt. Every one of these Little Blessings quilts are made the exact same way. You sew the background, and then you sew the pinwheels for the bottom, and then they each have a different design in the middle. After I sew on both sides of the center line, I take my pins out, indicating that that is ready to be cut apart. There is a method to my madness. Last one. All right, all of our pinwheels are sewn. Now we're going to cut these apart on the center line that separated them. Which will give us our pieces that we will sew together. Let me put the machine down for a little bit. Let's do some handiwork. So we're going to cut all these apart on the center line. I like to think of it as railroad tracks. You make the center line from corner to corner, and then on the quarter of inch on either side is where you're going to sew. After they're sewn, you cut them apart. Okay, next we have to press them towards the darker side. All right, now what I'm doing is I'm looking at the pattern, and now I'm lining my pinwheels up just like the picture. All right, now what we're going to do is we are going to pin these in the way that they're going to be sewn. Okay, now we have to iron the next set. And you're always going to press towards the darker print. And I try to pin them on the side that I know where I'm going to actually sew. Okay, now I've got all my little stacks together. So now I'm going to push them through the machine. When I open them up, we will sew them down the middle and then we will have our pinwheels. So that's what's happening next. This is called chain sewing, when you push a bunch through at once. Okay, we're going to take all of our pins out and cut all of our little kite strings off. Okay, I'm going to put the machine down again. Now all these pieces have to be pressed. And again, you're going to press towards the darker fabric. Now we're going to take these pinwheels and we are going to sew them together. This one's looking a little wonky. A little wonky. If you cut one out and you screw it up, fear not, because you can always just cut a solid block for the middle. Okay, so that the video will not be very long, I'm going to stop it here and sew the pieces together, and then I'll be right back with you. Okay, I'm back. We have our pinwheels sewn together now, and then we are going to sew the pinwheels onto the bottom of the quilt. I will say that when you work with these pinwheels, you have to make sure you press as you go or everything will not line up. Okay, now let me put the machine back on the floor. So the next thing we're going to do is we are now going to press this seam It says in the directions of the pattern to press the seams open, which feels very abnormal to me. Well, I'm not going to do it. I pressed that one open. I'm just going to press this one down since that's what it has a natural inclination to do. Okay, let's look at it from the front. Let's give it a good little press. I love the steam on this steam iron. So here's our basic background. All right, now we are ready to start cutting out the applique pieces that go on it. So that is also quite a bit of work. It's much better if you can get the kits that have the pre-fused pieces. So we do not have to cut out the snowflake because that came as a sticky piece, and we have got the buttons. I don't know if you see that, the buttons for the snowman's vest. So what we do have to cut out is the snowman himself. So if you notice, each piece is numbered. So you're going to cut out that piece and then go in order as it goes. And I'm probably not going to do the whole thing with you, but let's pretend we're making it, because this will be a very, very super long video. So I just use Dollar General store tissue paper, which is cheaper than buying tracing paper, and it's in bigger pieces. I'm going to iron the wrinkles out so that I get a nice clean cut on my design. We're just going to use that much so far. So now I'm going to take my number 2 Walmart pencil, and I'm going to cut out the bottom part of the snowman. Now this part here is showing a dotted line, which just means you have a piece that overlaps. So this is piece number 1. What is piece number 2? Piece number 2 must be the best. Kind of hard to see that. So that's number 2. Number 3. Oh, that must be 3. 2 must be this little part of his belly up here. A little teeny tiny piece. I think it would have been easier if he would have just made another whole snowman ball. So that little yoke is 2. All right, 4 is his left arm. Five is his right arm. 6 is his scarf, which will be a booger. 7 is his little snowman head. All right, so I'm not going to do all this with you because it just takes too long. But let's get a general idea of what this might look like. So I'm going to get my paper scissors now, and we're going to cut out the bottom part of the snowman. And you never really want to cut your actual pattern apart because you could lose a piece or anything could happen. You always want to trace your pieces. Shabby Fabrics is currently running a sale on these Little Blessing quilts, and you can buy one for every month for, I think it's around $100. All right, so we have this really wonderful, wonderful snowman fabric here. I will say that the fabrics in these kits are very nice. Look at that. I don't know if you can see that shine. It's beautiful. So we're going to lay that down, and I'm going to pin it, and then I'm going to cut it out. With my sewing scissors. If you notice, I got this down as close as I could to the bottom of the fabric so that we don't waste anything, because they don't give you extra. They give you enough to do what you have to do, but you are not given extra fabric typically. I don't use stitchery, witchery, or any kind of fusible when I do mine. I just stitch them as I go in place. That way then they're not so stiff. I got a little wonky right here. All right, so here's our little snowman body. And placement is everything. So you got to look in the picture. This goes down almost to the bottom, right in the center of the block. Looks like there might be about half inch difference between placement of the line and the snowman itself. All right, let me move my camera back up. Okay, so then you're going to continue on layering the pieces until you get it into a full snowman body. I hope you like my video. Please like and subscribe and give me a thumbs up. I'm really trying to reach 4,000 subscribers, and I would greatly appreciate your help. I'm working very hard at this, and I hope you like my videos. I don't know when I'm going to be able to make my floss too, but because why? I'm snowed in, so I can't drive the hour to go pick up my frame piece at Hobby Lobby. The second frame did not come in at all. So when everything comes in and I pick it all up, that's when I will do the next floss tube. I hope you have a blessed day, and thank you for watching me. I greatly appreciate it.